that Caitlin Clark is saying, challenge it, challenge it. It is Clark's first personal.
Hello guys, welcome back. The conversation around the WNBA never seems to slow down. While everyone is busy arguing about race, debating this so-called WNBA sisterhood, competing in what some people call the Victim Olympics, and spending the All-Star break creating headlines away from basketball, Caitlin Clark is doing the one thing that matters most, showing up on the court and putting together another unforgettable performance. While the noise keeps getting louder, Clark keeps answering with basketball, and that's exactly why people can't stop talking about her. Once again, she delivered another 30-point masterpiece, and once again, another record fell. Caitlin Clark continues building what is starting to look like a legitimate second-half MVP campaign. Every time people think they've seen her best performance, she somehow raises the bar even higher. That's why people stay frustrated. That's why the conversations never end, because nobody else consistently produces this type of magic on a basketball court. The Indiana Fever walked away with a huge 105-95 victory over the Seattle Storm. But the final score only tells part of the story. This game became another showcase for the player who continues rewriting the WNBA record books almost every single week. It honestly feels like Caitlin Clark breaks a new record every few games, and fans are starting to expect history every time she steps onto the floor. This time, Clark became the fastest player in WNBA history to reach 500 points and 150 assists in a single season. Think about that for a second. Out of every great guard that has ever played in this league, she's the quickest to reach those numbers. That's not luck. That's not hype. That's elite production backed up by elite performances night after night. Against Seattle, Clark was simply unbelievable. She finished with 32 points while shooting 9 of 14 from the field, knocked down 4 of 7 from beyond the arc, and was perfect from the free throw line, going 10 for 10. She also added 7 assists and 4 rebounds. Every possession seemed to flow through her, and every big moment belonged to her. It wasn't just scoring, it was complete control of the game. The third quarter was where everything changed. Seattle tried to build momentum and cut into Indiana's lead, but Clark completely shut the door. She scored 16 of the Fever's 18 points in the quarter. Nobody else on Indiana made a field goal during that stretch. When Aliyah Boston went down with an injury, the pressure immediately shifted onto Clark's shoulders, and instead of folding, she carried the entire team. She refused to let the Fever lose control of the game. Meanwhile, Kelsey Mitchell struggled through the first 3 quarters and couldn't really find her rhythm. But basketball is a game of adjustments, and in the fourth quarter, Mitchell completely flipped the script. She caught fire offensively, attacking the basket and knocking down tough shots. She exploded for 18 fourth-quarter points and finished with 28 points on 9 of 18 shooting. While Clark owned the third quarter, Mitchell completely dominated the fourth. That's what makes this Indiana Fever backcourt so dangerous. One star takes over when the team needs her, and when defenses finally adjust, the other star explodes. Opposing teams are forced to pick their poison, and most nights, there simply isn't a good answer. But make no mistake, this night belonged to Caitlin Clark. Seattle threw different defenders at her, tried changing coverages, and searched for answers all game long. Nothing worked. She controlled the tempo, knocked down big shots, created opportunities for her teammates, and delivered another record-setting performance. Love her or hate her, performances like this are exactly why Caitlin Clark remains one of the biggest stories in basketball today. Now let's move here. The SOPHIE Cunningham situation couldn't get any bigger. Another moment added even more fuel to the fire. What had already become one of the most talked about stories surrounding the Indiana Fever suddenly shifted into the spotlight again during a Fever press conference, creating an awkward exchange that immediately caught the attention of fans and media alike. During the press conference, a reporter asked Stephanie White about the controversy surrounding comments made by SOPHIE Cunningham. The question referenced Cunningham's public remarks and also noted that Stephanie White is part of the LGBTQ+ community, making the topic even more sensitive. The room instantly became tense. White appeared caught off guard, paused for a moment, and seemed to search for the right way to respond. Before she could fully answer, Indiana Fever public relations staff quickly stepped in. A PR representative opened a laptop and prepared the team's official response, signaling that the organization wanted to handle the situation carefully. It was obvious the franchise understood how much attention the story had already generated and wanted to avoid saying anything that could create another wave of controversy. The discussion surrounding Sophie Cunningham has sparked passionate reactions from every side. Some people argue that parents have legitimate concerns about fairness in women's sports, while others believe comments like these can be harmful to transgender athletes and members of the LGBTQ+ community. Regardless of where fans stand, the debate has expanded far beyond basketball and become part of a much larger cultural conversation. As the media continued covering the story, more voices began weighing in. The controversy was no longer limited to the Indiana Fever. It spread across the league, with reporters continuing to ask questions and fans debating the issue across social media. The story took another turn when the Seattle Storm head coach was also asked to comment on the situation involving Sophie Cunningham. With multiple coaches now addressing the topic publicly, the controversy continued to grow, proving this discussion wasn't going away anytime soon. Let's hear what the Seattle Storm head coach had to say next.
Coach, there was an anti-trans rally before the game, inspired by a WNBA player. As a member of the LGBTQ+ community and in your workplace, what was your reaction knowing that this was happening right outside of your door?
Yeah, I mean, Seattle and this organization and Climate Pledge, we always want to be an area where people feel welcome coming into this building. I think we've always done a really good job with that. So I know our organization was, working closely with Climate Pledge and with security to just make sure that, everybody feels safe and included and welcome when they walk in this door. And from what I understand, that was successful.
So she actually answered the question. Now, when it comes to Stephanie White in the game, oh no. Oh no! Stephanie White looking like, oh hell no, y'all ain't finna get me today. Y'all ain't finna get me today. Not today. And to be for real, they might have edited this. They might have edited this. But we finna play it. We finna play it.
Coach, there was a rally before the game, an anti-trans rally before the game, inspired by Sophie Cunningham. As a member of the LGBTQ+ community, how did you receive her comments and the way it ignited the right-wing and anti-trans supporters? And for the players, have you had conversations in the locker room about it?
I'll jump in on that. We do have an organizational statement I'll read. So neither our organization nor Sophie had any knowledge of this demonstration and no contact with its organizers. Our only goal as a team, whether at home or away, is to win basketball games and make Fever fans for life, and we're united on that mission. Do you have any more basketball questions?
Take a look at Stephanie White's reaction. The moment that question was asked, you could immediately tell how uncomfortable the situation became. Before she had much of a chance to answer, Indiana Fever PR quickly stepped in and reminded everyone that there would be no additional comments on the matter. The entire exchange caught people off guard, and you could almost feel the tension inside the room. It instantly became one of the most talked about moments from the press conference. Now, I want to hear from you. Jump down in the comments and let me know your thoughts about everything that happened.